What's up, guys? Welcome to the Mississippi Real Estate Podcast, hosted by Ryan Watson.
And I'm Tripp. It's all about real life, real talk, and real estate.
Join us as we dive into the stories, trends, and insider tips shaping the world of Mississippi real estate.
Whether you're buying, selling, investing, or just curious about the market, we've got all the insights you need to navigate with confidence. So if y'all are ready, let's get real. I'm just going to...
I'm going to ask you if you killed a deer again. Start out.
Just go.
All right, welcome back to the Mississippi Real Estate Podcast. We are here today on this beautiful Wednesday morning.
I'm sorry.
And
I'm laughing already.
We're having a good time. And I asked Tripp if he killed a deer. Tripp, did you kill a deer?
No.
Oh.
All season.
I was a guide most of the time.
I was
so,
too.
You know,
I was
that's
too.
More important
so
sometimes.
That is more important. So I did not have... I can't say I didn't have a great...
It was a terrible deer season for everybody.
It was weird and different. And I don't know what to blame it on.
Everybody's blaming it on acorns.
And weather.
And weather.
It went from 80-degree December, and we're like, man, is winter ever going to show up? And then winter showed up the last 2 weeks and punched everybody in the mouth.
Yeah.
Ice storms and wind blowing 30 miles an hour.
I didn't see a single buck behind my house this year.
You had some good ones on camera. We shouldn't talk about that. Your neighbors are going to be like...
Then they disappeared.
I knew he was lying.
I knew he was lying.
He said he ain't seeing nothing.
Shout out to my neighbors. Should I shout out to my neighbors? We're going to have to cut this part out.
We'll drop a pin, don't worry.
We're going to have to cut this part out. They're already listening right now.
I'll say this. So, no, I didn't kill a deer. My son killed 2. We were unsuccessful getting my daughter a deer. I could have killed a couple of those, but, man, I was telling some people, and I was trying to tell my son this because he's getting frustrated about not seeing, he wanted to kill a buck. We had some good target deer on camera, but, man, this year just seemed like everything stayed at night all year long.
Yep.
We had a few of them. We killed a couple decent bucks at camp this year, but I don't know what to blame it on.
It was weird.
I know there was a lot of acorns, but we have hardwoods, and I'd go sit in the acorns, and I don't know.
There wasn't nothing.
They weren't there. Squirrels were there, but they weren't. And
I'm going squirrel hunting here soon. We got till
we'll go squirrel hunt. We won't see them either.
No.
So,
we got till February 28th.
My deal is what you said. I can't say I had a bad deer season because I just always enjoy getting in the woods.
Oh yeah. Man,
and then the kids are learning, and that's always a plus. So it was a good deer season just because we went. And but I mean, the deer activity felt less. But I felt like I talked to you. I talked to people between our camp all the way down to central Mississippi, and I felt like everybody was saying the same thing. So I know there was pockets, and you've got these different places, and depending on your region, where they had spikes of a lot of deer activity and killing a lot of deer, and probably they didn't feel the fall off. But I feel like for the most people, for us average redneck deer campers, like I kind of feel like I'm in my bucket. I feel like we're all kind of the same.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But you smoked one right at the very end.
Last day.
No.
I saw about,
I was giving you...
had about 6 deer walk out.
You was just doing herd management at that time, huh?
Yeah. Sarah said, we need some meat. We need some more meat. Because I've grinded it all up and processed it. I don't go like all in with all the different ingredients and stuff. We did a little bit of that this year, but like I think we added some beef fat to make some burger meat or taco meat's what we usually use it for, ground meat. But I'm
making deer chili tonight.
She said we need another deer. I said, oh, that'd be good.
It's gonna be good.
That'd be good. What time I need to be there?
About 6:30.
Okay, I'll be there. But anyway, Sarah told me she gave me permission. She said, just shoot you another deer. We
got you a green light, huh?
Yeah. So I picked out the biggest one.
Did you wait, or did you just saw her immediately and was like, it's over with?
I actually went to shoot, and my gun didn't shoot.
Well, yeah. What do you mean it didn't shoot?
Well, I had the safety off. I had a round bolted in there.
It dry fired?
And I shot, and it dry fired.
That's not good.
Or didn't shoot. It just went click, and I was like, okay.
Uh-oh.
Then the deer went.
So you had to.
Yeah.
You had to eject it and put another
Yeah,
one.
they
in
kind
there.
of jumped and all of them kind of ran and stopped. And I was like, well, there's my chance. When they jumped and ran, I just bolted another one.
You did it quick.
Yeah.
No slow. Try to be quiet.
No.
They were on high alert anyway.
Yeah. And I shot my kids. I bought them a 350 Legend. If you never heard of a 350 Legend, it's a really cool gun. I won't get off in that rabbit trail. But just look up a 350 Legend. They're really neat for kids, and they got a short stock on them and stuff. Anyways, I took it because when I hunted a couple weeks ago with a buddy of mine, went to a place, and I told him I needed some meat too. So we went and shot a doe. And when I shot that doe, I just shot her jugular right off.
Oh, that's kind of graphic for
But
the
the
show, but
But the problem is that graphic? It's too graphic.
keep going.
But the problem is that I wasn't aiming at her jugular.
Uh-oh. So we got scope issues.
I was aiming on the shoulder
We got scope issues and firing pin
with my
issues.
308. Well, I got in my deer stand one day.
Oh,
At the
boy.
store. Had my 308. I leaned it up in a deer stand, trying to be safe. Leaning up in there.
I know where this
Climbed
is going.
up in my deer stand. Well, all of a sudden I hear this whoopoo, and I look over, and my rifle and gun, everything just hit the floor. I mean, smoked it. Every deer that was in the area was probably gone.
You just grabbed your stuff and went on back, didn't you?
I just put it back in there and kept hunting. I said, well.
But we didn't go
I
check
don't
our
know.
rifle after that hunt, apparently.
I didn't go check my rifle. I said, man, it's a tough gun. It ain't never missed.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
It almost did.
Yeah. Good thing is she dropped right there.
I'm sure she did. Saved the meat.
She was done. Yeah.
Okay, so you're giving a lot of deer hunters the what not to do.
Right. when you stand your gun up, make sure it's leaned.
Yeah.
At more of a 45 degree, not a 45, but like
Probably
a
in
35,
a corner instead of on a flat surface.
But don't stand it straight up and down.
Yeah.
Because when you do that,
You'll drop it.
Gravity takes
And then
place.
then maybe you want to go shoot it after that to make sure you're still on.
Yeah.
Man.
Anyway, let's get to our show.
Hunter 101 here, buddy. I remember my first deer hunt.
Yeah.
Hey,
I remember my first time.
Before we get going though, I gotta tell everybody, since we're on this real talk right now.
Let's do it.
So Ryan, we were all laughing. I couldn't hold myself through because you asked me the deer question. That got me chuckled.
When we started.
But we were having a conversation, and we were making coffee, and this man goes, "Hey man, you want some gum?" And gives me like mint, cool mint gum. I'm like, not with our coffee.
No.
So your brain wasn't working yet. And then the next thing you told me, which I thought was funny, is you were bragging about your wife's new shoes, and you're like, man, I bought them brand new right there.
Bought them right there.
And I said, as opposed to what, the used market of shoes. I mean, what do we? Don't we normally buy them new?
Sometimes we'll go by Goodwill. There might be a pair in there.
That's fine. I get it. Hey,
they got great deals.
They are nice looking shoes.
Great deals.
Okay, now we can go.
What are those? Sauconys?
Oh no.
Saucony? How do you say that?
They look like she's walking on clouds. They look really comfortable.
She said they were the most comfortable shoes that she's ever had. Comfy.
We'll ask her in about a month and see how that feels.
All right, let's start this show off here.
Okay, let's get into real estate.
So today we're going to talk about, with our professional opinions,
opinions. Let's hyphenate.
Opinions.
Hyphenate quote opinion.
What kind of questions are buyers asking going into spring, getting ready to buy a house?
Okay.
What kind of questions? All right, so I've got some questions wrote down.
Okay, let's go.
We're going to talk about these, okay?
Yep, this is going to be great.
Is the springtime actually, and I do hear this question, is the springtime the best time to buy?
I mean, I feel like that's a stereotype,
Yep.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Everybody just assumes, because, right? I don't know. What do you think? Go. Before I start just jabbering.
Well, historically.
Okay. Oh, you did some research.
More.
You said historically.
Historically, more inventory hits the market in the spring.
Okay. I would agree.
So they have more options usually.
I would agree with that.
Yeah. But that also brings more competition.
Ooh.
Just think about that.
I agree with that.
Yeah. Do you have any, when you get ready, if you got a buyer, you have multiple offers on houses in the spring versus the fall? Or Summer.
I think it depends on the region. I mean, I was talking to somebody yesterday. I was showing a house out in Clinton yesterday, and and before I went and showed that house, I was talking to another Weichert realtor, and she's got a listing over here in Crossgates.
Okay.
And she was like, "Hey, it's like brand new to the market, and I've got 11 showings." I was like, "Dang, you may get multiple offers." And I was like, "That's great." I said, I hadn't seen that so much here like it was when COVID.
Right.
I still think there's a lot of
Yeah.
COVID hangover with sellers and whatnot, but not so much with buyers. I don't think, my opinion.
Yeah.
But because the house has a great price point and it's a good sized bed and bath. I mean, Crossgates is still, in my opinion, a great neighborhood.
Oh, great community. Yeah.
And 042 Brandon, also great community. I told her, I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna have a lot of interest." I said, "You may get in a multiple offer situation." I think in certain regions you can, the multiple offer situation can happen, like micro markets. But I don't see it as much as we've gotten further away from COVID. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think buyers more or less taking a little bit more of the time, and I'm not saying it can't happen, but I think I think it goes to pricing. If your house is priced appropriately, you probably could. Now, will you have 5, 6? I don't know. You might get 2. You may be working with 2 buyers. So I don't know. That's my problem. I don't know if I answered it.
You did answer.
Okay.
The problem that I'm seeing is I'm still getting a lot of people. Well, I'm seeing a lot of sellers. I'll say this. I'm seeing a lot of sellers who still think that their house is worth COVID prices.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so that creates a problem, because then your buyers are coming in going, "I really like this house," and you come in with a market offer, market value offer to the table, and they're still not accepting it, and you're going, "Okay." Like, we ran some comps here, and it's this is what this house is looking like it's probably going to be worth. And it sits there and expires.
Well, to go back, and I think we can get on the seller side here in a little bit. To go back to the buyer, is the spring.
I'm still talking about buyer side.
Yeah. Well, I know, but I was about to pivot into sellers.
Oh, yes. I want to talk about sellers.
I'm bringing myself out.
We're going to come back to the sellers.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I think the same way that we talk about, and I want to be I know we get in trouble if we talk about the ways. I guess the amount of apples you generate on the deal for your professional service fees. I think there's a stereotype on.
That's interesting too.
Yeah, I think there's a stereotype on, the amount of apples that are made in a deal, and then I think there's a stereotype that spring is. I think spring, obviously, there's an uptick, and I think the reason is that you see a lot of movement there, and it's basically based off of like kids get out of school and you're going into new school year, and you got some people like, well, I want to move over here. I want to move from Rankin to Madison, or Madison to Rankin, or over Pillahatchee, wherever it may be. And people are moving schools or maybe jobs, and it just kind of seems like when all that stuff, kind of takes place. And but and this kind of goes back to sellers. But
you're getting on a topic that I wrote down. Why life timing matters more than season.
Why life timing matters more than season. You may have to like.
Well, what I'm saying is, people are in different seasons. They got kids going to school or not in school, and all the different.
You talking about seasons in life or season changing seasons like falls?
No, just life seasons. Okay. Where people are at, their age, if they got kids or not, if they've got had a divorce, if they've whatever the reason is they're selling or buying.
I think buyers are going to get more opportunity coming into spring.
Yeah,
obviously, but houses still sell in the fall and winter.
No doubt. I had a contract, had an offer, an accepted contract day before Christmas.
Yeah,
this year.
I had a closing right before Christmas too. I'm like, okay.
Well, and that's one of those examples.
And there's other realtors that have multiple closings before.
Oh yeah, and I'll share this story too, real quick with you. So this one, I'm not gonna make it long, but
that's a lie.
This I always make it long. But this sweet lady, I love this sweet client of mine. She's wonderful. I told her, I said it may be a good idea to wait till spring so you can get through the holidays and things. Well, for other reasons, she needed to sell today. Like we need to get moved, we got to get going. And so, long story short, we ended up putting it on the market right before Christmas. And of course, just a few weeks later, we get an offer, and it comes in day before Christmas. And we're like,
Merry Christmas to those buyers.
I said, "Well, Merry Christmas."
And to your seller.
Yeah. I said, "Merry Christmas." So she was having to move out through the holidays, and
Oof.
which was a bummer.
Yeah.
You can imagine.
Yeah.
Moving. And
packing up your life, you got memories
and
in.
she's
one of the most, nostalgic times of the year.
Oh yeah. Well, and then also, I mean, everybody is used to coming to this house for the holidays, family, and grandkids and everything. So it was a situation, but we all made it all work. She got a new house, and we found her a new house and moved in there, and it's doing great.
That's
It's doing
fantastic.
good.
New memories
Coming
in 2026.
But that's just one of the things that I just wanted to share that little story. But
yeah, I think so the seasons of
that's not
life.
spring. We're talking about spring.
We are talking about spring. And then you went back to fall.
I went back
winter.
to fall. I was
Actually,
telling
winter.
a story.
That's okay.
It was a life. What did I say?
What you said, seasons of life.
Life season, yeah.
And
She
that
had
does
to sell.
that plays a huge impact on. I mean, look. I hear people say all the time. I actually showed a house that same house to my new buyers yesterday, and they said, this we want this to be our forever home. I hear that this is going to be our forever home, and I'm like, man, to be honest, like, I don't know if there is a such thing as a forever home. Like you could build like you and Sarah built a house,
Right.
and y'all on your laying out, and you're like, this is our forever home.
Mm-hmm.
But one day you may say, I don't want all.
I've already started saying that. But the problem,
I just think
the problem is we're in real estate, so we see all the best, newest,
like, I'd like to go
greatest
there.
things that you.
Let's go get that bright shiny penny.
Yeah, that looks good.
Let's go chase that one. But anyway, I don't know.
Yeah,
That's just
hair
I'm gonna
tickling
not
my
go
nose.
down that. But in my opinion, like I just get real quick. I shake my head and I get it because Tracy and I want to build a house, and we're like, hey, this is gonna be our forever home. Like, man,
Probably
one
not.
day we'll probably downsize. We won't be there forever. It'll be for a while.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I got a hair on my face.
you got lots of hair on your face. You got a goatee.
Not my
and,
goatee. I got a hair somewhere on me.
No, I don't see it.
I might have to cut that part out.
So what else is on
Tickling
your?
me.
So I don't know. Oh,
We're not
stereotype.
cutting
I think
that out. This is real life.
that is real life.
Real life.
I think there's a stereotype. I think there's a lot of movement and there's a lot of stuff that comes with the market. But is it the best time to buy? Is that what the question was?
Yep.
Is this the best time to buy? I don't know because like you said, maybe if inventory goes up and it helps drive the prices down. But right now we're still inventory low. So you're talking about sellers with COVID prices, trying to get COVID prices. The other thing that's keeping houses high is there's still low inventory.
Yeah.
That's the one thing sellers have really going for themselves is that there's low inventory, so they still can control, the higher price point. So I don't know this year
Historically,
if I don't know if
more
this year,
inventory on the market.
I don't know if
in
you
the
got if I don't know if that's an advantage or disadvantage to a buyer. I say here's what I say: if you like the house, go put in an offer and let's
That's
just
right.
go start negotiating the thing.
Yeah, that's right.
Simple answer.
That's right.
There you go, folks.
And I will
Podcast
say,
over. We'll see you next week.
I will say that we got some other questions we want to get to that are really good.
Okay.
I will say this: my phone has rang more with buyers recently than in the fall.
Yeah.
It's been picking up, and that may
It has
be,
been picking up.
and that may be that we're moving into that has a lot of reasons. Maybe it's going into spring. Rates have dropped.
I think people are getting more excited about
they're
the possibility that rates are going to continue
Yep.
to come down a little bit. And I think every lender I've talked to, they're very optimistic.
Oh, absolutely.
So I think that's kind of has a ripple effect down to our buyer pool. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm working with I've got way more buyers going into this year than I did starting 2025.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
all
Let's
right.
go.
Okay.
All right, I got another
Next
question here. This is one that I get a lot,
Uh-oh.
and this is a loaded question. I'll say that. I guess it's a loaded question. Are you ready for the question?
Yes.
Can I buy and sell at the same time?
Yeah, I think most people do that all the time.
Yeah, yeah. If you're the best there is,
Oh my gosh.
we can make that work.
Yeah.
We can make it happen.
Hey, by the way, side note, your little like the trend of the character things,
The
I love how
character
you had the
has a
trophy
little-
with the best.
You know what we
I was
did?
like, man, that's from the Best There Is
Yeah.
series right
So
there.
what's funny is that
I like that.
we didn't change anything on it. Once it loaded and did its
Oh,
little
you
thing.
did that was the one and
the
done,
only
huh?
thing Sarah's like, maybe we should. It was Sarah's idea. She's like, hopefully we can get the trophy to say the best there is. And so that was the only thing that we said. Can we just make the trophy say the best so that we play off of the best
Yeah.
video stuff. But thank you, man. I appreciate that.
I liked your character. I don't even know how to say
Why?
that stupid word.
Why wouldn't they just say it's a character?
I don't know.
What is a caricature?
Okay, so can you buy and sell at the same time?
We're gonna come back to that. All right, here we
The
go.
easy answer is yes.
Yes, you can.
What do you think since you're getting this?
Let's talk about contingencies because there's going to be.
Well, what do you think the wait behind the question? Like if you're getting that asked a lot, and so I'm gonna put the question back on you.
Sure.
What do you think is leading them to ask? Why do you think buyers or sellers? Why do you think sellers don't think they can buy and sell at the same time?
Well, they just don't know how to, I guess.
Yeah, it's different.
That would be.
It can be.
It can be very. Well, and that's why you need a real estate agent a lot of times because we do this all the time and we know how to say, okay, here's what you need to do first. Obviously, to buy another house, most people are going to have to sell. Most people are going to have to sell their home they're living in to purchase their next one.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, going into that,
I think the hardest part of the buy sell, like when you have a seller that
they just don't know how
sell
to do
and they go
that
buy
process.
it. I know. Yes. Answer is yes. The timing is the trickier part of it, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, to put it in to simplify it,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you can list and you can go look and buy, but getting your house under contract and getting another one on contract and all that, melting together, that the timing of the transaction is the most difficult part.
I think there's what I agree, and I also think there's a lot of different factors that go in when it comes to. I mean, because if you're buying new construction, a builder's going to have a different opinion on a contingency of a house that you got to sell versus old Joe Blow that's selling his house. He might go, oh man, I got plenty of time to move all this stuff of my stuff I've had for 30 years in here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that go into play. So it depends on what kind of house you're buying, a new or an old one or whatever too.
Yeah.
But because that's something that I've seen. We were going to put an offer in. I've got some buyers, and we're going to put an offer in on a new construction. And this builder is wanting to. They won't accept an offer unless that house is going on the market like next day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've heard. Yeah. They want to make sure.
Whereas if we were going to old Joe Blow over here, I don't know why I'm calling him Joe Blow.
I want to say John Smith.
John Smith. That's got little Johnny's house.
We're not mad at Joe's.
No,
man.
we're not.
We're not mad
but
at Joe's.
If we go over here to Mr. Seller's house, that works.
Yeah, Mr. Seller's better.
Then he's more than likely going to be fine with the contingency and saying, well, that just gives me more time to.
Yeah, and I
he
think
can still market at his house.
Yeah,
whatever.
I think the most important part, again, and you're hitting on it.
Mm-hmm.
Is just having the communication with your seller that wants to sell and go buy, and say, okay, just be open and honest about what it can look like. Yes, if we're going new construction, that could look different than going out to the, I guess the retail market, just
Sure,
about, whatever, and then just, hey, this is what we could run into. We're going to work through all these situations. We're going to have to do a contingency. Some other sellers, because they're probably trying to sell and buy something too, they may not like. Some people don't like it, but you have all kind of options. First right of refusal. I was talking to one of my, I was talking to one of my buyers the other day about doing a first right of refusal, and we got in a certain situation. He wasn't sure if he wanted to, counter back, what that looked like, and he had a lot of other things going on, and so we talked about that. And so there's, I think as long as you walk your seller buyer through what the domino effect could be of a buy
True.
sell.
Yeah.
Because you got to remember, they're doing it likely if we're going to
Joe Blow's house.
Joe Blow's house.
He's doing it
And
too.
she, that family's got to do the same thing.
Right, right.
So, we call it, the domino effect.
Yeah.
One thing can mess up.
Right.
I'm dealing with it right now, to be honest with you.
Man.
I told Sarah, Sarah and I were supposed to do a sign drop video last week. The closing got pushed back.
Mm-hmm.
This is no fault
Yeah.
on my buyers, first time home buyers, love them to death, or the sellers we're going to. Shout out to the other agent. I don't know if I want to get too namey on this, but she knows who she is.
Not while you're on
She's doing a great job of managing her side, and it's not their people's fault. We're dealing with, and it's not the VA fault. It's the type of, it's the other stuff behind the VA.
Sure.
I don't want to get too far into that,
Oh,
but
we could have a whole
but
podcast
but my people are coming out of a rental, so it's not as detrimental on their side.
Mm-hmm.
But my other people that I'm working with, the agent, they've got a house they're buying and selling, and I've
had that happen before.
I talked to the lenders yesterday, and I said, it's not just us that's hanging on to this. I said, you're messing with another buyer seller on the other end. You're dealing with their insurance. If we don't, I want to say something on the insurance side real quick.
All right, what you got?
Lenders, realtors, everybody involved. When a deal, when you say we're going to close on the 4th, this Friday on the 4th, if that deal gets extended, you need the lender or the realtor, somebody needs to go, we need to tell the insurance agent this deal didn't close. Because that buyer does not need to be paying insurance. That bound insurance doesn't need to go in effect
on the day that insurance
on a house they're not living in.
Yeah.
And the effective date needs to be set for the day that it goes in effect. And if you get pushed another 2 weeks, here's the problem with that. But it's important that it's done. It could affect their rate. It could affect their premium. So I told the lender that I was like, hey, their insurance now, we have to rewrite it. And now they may not get the same premium. Here's the flip side though, it could be cheaper. That would be the best outcome.
Yeah.
But likely it's either going to be right around the same or it could be a rate. I mean, insurance is so volatile right now, the rates change like the daggum stock market up and down every day. So anyway, just food for thought. Don't forget your insurance agents when you have contract extension because it's important to keep that documentation on par with your closings. That's all I'll say about that.
Shout out to double agent right
That's
here.
right. Insurance
Call your
center.
boy right here.
Call me for insurance needs. Okay, so domino effect. Yes, you can buy and sell. We do it all the time. Actually, I would say that's the majority. A lot of time we get a lot of first time home buyers, but I would say the majority or somebody's looking to sell their house, they got to buy another one, and it's the same thing. So buy sales happen all the time.
Yeah. So I'm hearing knowing where to start is very important. That's where we come in. Communication.
Communication.
I think that is one of the most important things with trying to buy and sell a house or sell and buy a house.
Not only communication with your buyer seller, but the other agent.
Exactly. And that's what I'm trying to, communication
and
in
lenders.
general.
Yes.
Y'all talk about, hey, look, we're selling this house. Let them know when you've had, keep in contact with the other agent for the house that you're buying, and let them know. Say, hey, we've had some showings, we got some interest. Keep in touch with them as you're going through the process. If you're under right of first refusal, I think that's very important.
Well, the other thing is you don't want to get to the end of that and somebody end up homeless.
Right. Right.
The deal doesn't fall.
That's
If
true.
something falls through on one side, but there always could be the possibility someone's like, well, if that happens, I'm out of a house and I hadn't bought.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that's why I think timelines and making sure everybody's on the
Absolutely.
same page and keeping that stuff together.
Have a plan.
That's to be
Have a
honest,
plan.
as anxiety with the buy sell as a realtor, that's my biggest fear.
Yeah.
Is that
Oh,
something
absolutely.
happens and I'm like, somebody.
Absolutely.
Because that's anyway.
I mean, and that's something that I try to explain to people up front. Like, we're going to do everything we can to make sure you ain't got to go stay in a hotel for a few days.
Yeah, or go
You know
rent
what I mean?
if you had
Or
to
go rent, yeah.
something.
But I also tell them, but there's a possibility of that.
Yeah.
I haven't had it happen to me. I've heard stories, and it happens a lot.
I think when you get into
But
that role, is that's where if somebody could follow us for the day,
hmm
us or another realtor, I don't care
yeah,
who you follow,
right.
you would see the complexities of the in and
Oh,
outs of
it's insane.
keeping of the balancing act of
Hmm
having a seller slash buyer and then another seller slash buyer and keeping all those
Right.
pieces together.
Oh yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not as easy as just like, oh, I'll sell a house. Here's a house. I sold it. I'm
Right.
gonna move on to this.
No.
That's the big picture. Yeah,
I
but
think feel like the general public. I say this and I use this all the time. They think that it's like selling a car, when putting it on the market and getting an offer is just the beginning.
oh
You
yeah,
know.
yeah. I congratulated clients of mine just about 2 days ago. Got them a house under contract, and I said, "Hey, congratulations!" I said, "But this is like a soft congratulations because we still got to go all the way here."
This is the beginning.
Yeah. So
This
now
is
the
the
work
beginning.
starts. You know
Yeah,
what I mean? So fun part's looking at houses. Then the work
that is
begins.
fun.
Kind of like killing a
Well,
deer.
kind of like killing deer.
You go deer hunt, I'm
Yeah,
like, man, look at all these deer. I'm looking at all these deer, and I get one. And they're
yeah,
like, dang, now I gotta clean this bastard.
yeah.
Oh, I shouldn't say that. I gotta
I gotta
clean.
clean it.
Now I gotta clean this deer.
We got, but yeah,
We
I
need
mean,
a
and
little. We need a little bleep button.
I know, but
But
that
that's when the work begins.
that's when the work begins. Yeah,
But at the end of all that,
I was gonna talk about
you
Sarah
get the
holding my
meat.
deer leg the other day.
You reap the harvest of the meat, and then at the end, you got happy customers, new house, new
Mhm.
memories. Your fruits of your labor pays off, and
Yeah,
collect your apples.
like shooting a deer.
I mean,
Anyway,
that's what I just
great.
I know.
All right, let's
That's
go.
not your questions. That's
I know. I'm
Instagram.
trying to get my face to be recognized. All right, next question.
I'm waiting. That's what happens when we go off topic.
I'm trying to
Your
think.
your questions went away.
Well, I wrote down several of really good ones.
Okay.
Let's see here.
Hey, we hit
Well,
1,000 followers. By the
hey,
way,
we
we'll
did
get to
hit
that
1,000.
later. Sorry,
We also
I'm
pretty
feeling the
much
time gap. By
we
the way.
also pretty much covered everything that I got wrote down here.
Oh, that was it.
Yeah, we talking about. I mean,
Can I? Can I?
everything.
Can I? Listen. I'll say something that I've been seeing lately, with especially first time home buyers.
Oh, I got one. I got one. Here we go.
Oh, do you want to go now?
Yeah, we go. Or you want me to go? I got my question.
Yeah, you go. Go ahead.
All right. So, what should buyers look for?
I feel like this is a joke.
We're gonna have to.
You're setting it up as a joke.
I'm not saying that.
Okay.
We're gonna have to edit out a little bit of this probably. All right.
No, it's real life, real
Ne-
talk, real estate. This is raw. We're putting it
This is
all out
real life.
there.
All right. So next question is this is gonna be our last question.
Okay.
What should buyers look for
Me as a real estate agent.
No
Go
problem.
ahead. I'm sorry.
besides pretty finishes?
Man.
Examples:
You talking about?
roof,
Yeah.
HVAC,
Well,
foundation, location.
Boom. You just hit it. I think it's easy to get lost in the bright shiny. You know what I mean? Like, I think me and you both heard this way, and I think other realtors would agree. And obviously, you know, that stuff grabs attention. New countertops, new appliances, all that stuff. That's great. But yeah, I mean, if you're buying a used house, my biggest thing is structurally, does it have good bones?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can always put the bright shiny in there.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's a little bit more work, but like if you walk in and you don't have granite countertops yet,
Yeah.
but the structure is good and you like the way the house flows, that's a big
Right.
one too. I've gotten people that have been talking about how like they're starting to like the idea of not so much the big open floor plans anymore. They like, as long as the house flows good, they're fine having dedicated rooms.
Sure. Sure.
Which I get it. Things are it's
Mm-hmm.
trends and fads, and that it happens in the real estate market too.
Absolutely.
So I like both, depending on the house and how it's set up. But I think the flow is important to people. I think structurally is a big one for me. I always look for
Oh yeah.
to make sure you've got a solid. The bones of the house are good. The foundation.
I want to say that's one thing that I learned from you early on getting into real estate was structural things.
It's important, dude.
That was something I learned from you. That was a big deal.
I mean, we live
I
in
carry that with
Mississippi.
me.
I told somebody just the other day, I love our state. I'm born and raised here, you know, and you know, uh, in our little geographical corner of the world, you know, we're close to a lot of things, but I feel like our state does have a lot to offer, regardless of what you hear on the big national news.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a great place to live. It's a great family place to live. The one thing I wish I could change about our state is the ground, the soil. Like I wish we had. I love that we have the Delta and we got big farms and stuff like that. That's not what I'm talking about. Like for houses, like you go further into Alabama, they start getting into bedrock. Tennessee, the same way.
Yeah.
You know, you got.
Yeah.
I'm not saying those places can't have issues too, but it just seems like it. And maybe somebody from another state would be like, well, we still have foundation too. We got harder ground, but
Mm-hmm.
our soil is so with our humidity and moisture.
Mm-hmm.
That's the one thing. So that's why I'm a big proponent. I mean, I will almost tell anybody like, hey, you can't ever say if you've worked with me, I didn't say, even if you're,
Mm-hmm.
even if there's no concern, I'm always like, just get the structural engineer report. Spend that
Yeah.
little bit of money up front. At least you know what the measurements are. If you're going
Right.
to get in the house, if you feel like something's going, in another year or two, you can get it measured, make sure you're good or whatever.
Right.
Because if you get ahead of foundation before it really becomes foundation
Mm-hmm.
issues,
Yeah.
I still think you can. I'd rather pin a corner when it starts kind of drooping, and you spend less to do that. It's
Sure.
just the maintenance of owning a house in Mississippi.
Yeah.
So for me, my biggest thing, you know, bright shiny,
It
it's
might
pretty,
be a beautiful house.
but
let's
but
look
if the
at-
foundation's
Let's look at the foundation.
structural, everything.
Yeah.
That's my biggest thing.
So I've got a client recently that we're talking about what should buyers look for besides just pretty houses. We're talking about the roof stuff. I've got a client that we did all the stuff. We looked at the roof. We looked at HVAC. We had a inspector come in, did all the things, everything. Everybody was professional in everything that they did. And few weeks after buying the house, closing, the HVAC, the air conditioners went out.
Mm.
And it didn't just go out. It went out and like water was pouring out of the emergency pan, goes down the wall. Like it's a whole situation and like ruins this whole side of the house. So, like we were talking about, it's not just about pretty finishing. Some things you can't help.
No.
You can look at the roof age and say, well, this roof is going to probably have to be replaced.
Yeah.
This, foundation looks good, whatever. But
That's just
as
one of
far as
those.
that goes, it's one of the things you don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of those things where you just don't have a crystal ball.
Mm-hmm.
Things are going to happen. Things can happen in new construction.
Absolutely.
You're hoping that you can just prevent the best way you can, against those things. Hopefully, you've got as much information on property conditions disclosure, and it's kind of like anything else, man. It's like a buddy of mine bought a truck about the same time I did, same truck, and he had some issues with his. A great truck, but just you've got components and mechanical things that can, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw.
You just never know.
Yeah, you just never know.
Have we talked about? Have I talked about my AC at my house?
Yeah, I think you got a pretty good example. Brand new house too, right?
Yeah.
Ish.
Oh my gosh. So we have we gone into this yet? So, here's a great example. So that's an old house that we bought. Older house.
Older.
Used house. Where the HVAC went out a couple weeks after buying the house and closing. Well, I've got a brand new house that I say brand new. It's only 2 years old. The AC is only 2 years old, and I'm having issues with my condenser on the outside of my house.
Mm.
So you just never know.
Yeah.
I've got somebody that's going to have to come out and fix it and take care of that. So you just never know.
Yeah.
Our thing is but we want to make sure and look at those main things: the roof, the foundation. Look at the HVAC. See all the things. That's where we come into play. That's where an inspector comes into play. And just making sure that we we hit on all those things and make sure those are good.
Yeah.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. I mean, the bright shiny is important. Obviously, curb appeal is big.
Yeah.
You know, that's going to attract you to the house.
Mm-hmm.
But I think once you find out, most people want to know, they find out what's important to them is they want the location obviously
Mm-hmm.
matters. And then they get to okay, I like the way this house looks.
Yep.
And that's great. That brings you into the house, right? That
Mm-hmm.
attractiveness of that house. But then, make sure those structural things, the roof over your head and all that, that's important. And then figure out whatever the
Mm-hmm.
bright shiny new or the pretty pennies are for you. You know what I mean?
Right.
And if that house has it, great. If not, but it's a structurally good house and it flows well and you like the way
Mm-hmm.
where it is, and you can put those,
Right.
amenities in there or those fixtures or
Right.
appliances or whatever
Right.
it may be that floats your.
Do you want to talk about the investment side a little bit? The rental side of that.
The rental side.
I'm throwing you a curveball over here because you've got rental houses. I mean, I'm just thinking about like
Well, for the rental side, I look for the worst one.
the absolute worst one.
Yeah, I don't look for the bright shiny new. On the investment side, I would say, for me personally, me and Tracy personally, we do look for the house that, obviously, maybe we can get a deal on. I mean, we bought some turnkey properties, but
Mm-hmm.
our main focus, for sure, is if that house has got good bones.
Yeah.
Because you're talking about a long-term investment,
Mm-hmm.
just the same way with if you're buying a house and you want that house to be a long-term house. I always go back to structural,
Mm-hmm.
foundation, well built, solid frame, everything. So
Mm-hmm.
obviously roof, all the big
And still,
big
even
things.
from an investment side, you don't know.
I'm not
You might
worried
buy
so
one.
much about what it looks like on the inside, because if we need to add value to that house, we can do that. So I am less worried about.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the difference between showing, folks that are looking versus somebody who's like, hey, I'm ready to buy an investment property where I can give somebody a good product to live in, but also make the cash flow make sense for everything. So yeah, 100%. I don't look for the prettiest ones on the block. I look for the ones that have good bones and have we feel like got longevity, and work it from there.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, going into buying a house, make sure you got a good roof.
Yep.
Look at that.
Foundation.
Find out how old the roof is on the PCDS. Foundation. Those are the two biggest ones.
Yep.
Structural stuff too.
Well, and I think I've told you before, and I almost encourage all my buyers, even if they've got an ounce of concern if the house is settled
Mm-hmm.
or whatnot, to go ahead and get that structural engineer's report.
Mm-hmm.
Even if the house feels good, I mean, if you can spend a little bit of money up front, at least at the end of the day, you've got the measurements of that house.
Mm-hmm.
And so if something happens, you can have somebody come back and be like, oh, this side might be settled a little bit. It's easier to pin, in my opinion, a side than to let that thing just go to a legit foundation issue where you've got to start putting holes in the floor and
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And
Right.
and I'm all about preventive maintenance. So
Absolutely.
and one thing you can do up front is your due diligence. Yes, it costs a little bit more money on the buyer side,
Yep.
but if you're
On front
worried
end.
about a door sticking a little bit, or you see a settlement crack in the mortar, or if a door just kind of sways, it could be a hinge thing. But if you've got any doubt, just get
Yeah.
the structural engineer report.
Yeah. Worth a few $100, just go ahead and do it.
That's I mean,
it
why
happen.
not? If you're buying one of your biggest investments,
Right.
that
Of
you're
your
going to get
life.
into,
Yeah.
spend a little bit of money on the front end and make sure you're comfortable with what you're investing into.
Yeah.
That's probably the best way I could say it, I guess.
Yeah. I think we've pretty much hit everything on that topic.
I got a
Some
guy.
great points.
I got a family right now I'm working with, and I think it's interesting what their parameters were looking for a house. And one of the things they told me is, Tripp, we don't want any new construction. He said we want something that's been
Mm-hmm.
built 10 years, up to 10 years prior. Now, if it was an 8-year-old house, they'd probably sway a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought that was interesting. I was like, he said, look, we know they're moving back in state.
Mm-hmm.
They've been they've been living off
Out of
in
state.
out
Yeah.
of state, but they are familiar with Mississippi. And
Mm-hmm.
so one of the things they decided on as family is we want a house that's been built for at least 10 years. So hopefully any settling that's happened, or
Right.
maybe hopefully nothing's happened, they feel like that's giving
It's
it a
already
good
been
time
done.
to kind of sit there. I thought that was great. I was
Yeah.
like, man, that's a great way to approach it.
Well, I mean, man, I say it all the time too. I think
Not to discourage people from
no,
buying
no,
new
no, absolutely
construction. That's just their
no,
parameter.
no. I think, but that's just the reality of the market and the way it works with new construction. I mean, you got a house that people have been lived in. They have lived in it, and they worked all the kinks out.
Yeah.
Is what I like to say. They've anything that can
Hopefully.
go wrong. Most of the time, they've taken care of it, and
Yeah.
a lot of times you'll see that they've taken care of it. So you're moving into a house that's been lived in. It's been uh, it's been maintained, so to speak. Whereas new construction, there's a lot of things that that are still that are brand new. They've got to figure itself out.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep. Good.
um, the pipes may not like the way they are. They might be
The air conditioner
the air condenser can go out 2 years in.
Oh my goodness. Well, that's just part of owning a home too.
Yeah, it is.
So you're going to have maintenance with home ownership. So
Right, right.
I don't know.
So I think that's pretty good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
we
that's all I got to say about it.
That's all we got to say about
That's
that.
all I got to say about that.
Well, I will say this before we get done. I'll give you some deer meat if you need some.
I got low. Look, I'm no shortage of deer meat, man. Like I said, my
I'm just
my
kidding.
son
I'm
luckily
kidding.
fed the family this.
You know I
deer
just got to
season.
give you a hard
I
time.
know. I know.
We got plenty though if you need some deer meat.
Okay. I'd rather eat yours before I eat mine anyway.
Okay.
Take us out of here, man.
All right, y'all. Hey, thanks so much for watching this episode. Hope you guys learned a lot. If you're listening and you're thinking about buying a house, I hope this helps some. That's our whole purpose by all this. Thank y'all so much for loving us and following us and likes and all the things. We really appreciate y'all. We'll see you on the next one where we'll talk about settlers. God bless.